Hello, I'm Marianna Lvovskaja, and myself and a colleague of mine, Paul Robinson, are putting together a concert benefit for Oklahoma. We're raising funds in the hope of being able to build 100 storm shelters. And to see firsthand the effect that the tornado had on Oklahoma, Paul Robinson and a very dear friend and colleague of mine, Paul Brown, and I, all three of us took a little road trip down there to check it out for ourselves. In fact, Steve Eddy, who's the city manager of Moore, Oklahoma, took us on a tour of all the destruction sites. And it was quite emotional and very devastating what we got to see. We got to talk to some of the people who were affected by the tornado, and including some of the first responders, such as the Moore Fire Department, the police department, the International Harvest Church, and Raise Some Hope Foundation. We met some really amazing, incredible people, and it was really great because they all welcomed us with open arms. And just hearing about what they went through and seeing what they went through, it had a pretty huge impact on all of us. On our journey, we got to also meet the Carmona family. They've become very dear friends to us, and they're part of the Raise Some Hope Foundation. 2 years ago, they were affected by a tornado while attending church. They lost their dad and their youngest sister. The church has helped them get back up on their feet, so they've been sort of paying it forward in the past couple of years by volunteering for the Raise Some Hope Foundation. They're helping the volunteers who are helping to build the city back up, and they're also helping out the people who have lost everything. The Carmona family are just some of the most amazing, incredible people that we have met, and they really became like family to us, and we feel really grateful to have met them. Now, the footage that you're about to see is our tour of all the destruction sites and some of the interviews that we took with the first responders. Just to let you know, the S.O.S. Oklahoma Red Carpet Benefit will be taking place on February 14th, 2014 at Liberty Grand in Toronto. We're going to have a lot of great things there for you, including public speakers, live music, a fashion show for the VIP dinner, and many other wonderful things. We're trying to raise some hope for Oklahoma, and we really hope that you can attend. Thank you.
Center was the worst of the commercial retail damage.
Yeah, building's destroyed.
Yeah, it is. Had a lot of small little retailers and pub back there that were really popular. There was a bank right here. There was a bowling alley right there. Some doctor's offices and another bank right there. Volunteer group still yet. We've had thousands of volunteers come through the community to help.
I can imagine.
As you all know, anytime something as bad as this happens, it's really good to know that there's people out there who care. And just, as you can see, there's a bunch of toys, there's t-shirts, there's people signing, writing, poems, prayers, their I love yous and their support. I think this means so much. Yesterday we spoke to Steve Eddy, the city manager, and he said that our money would be going towards building some of the tornado shelters. And I think that would be really great. Maybe they can build one for the school. I don't know. Kids are the future to our world, so we should keep them safe.
And it already started dropping a tornado at that time.
So we literally stood right here on the pad, on the concrete pad out here, and watched this storm move through. And we were looking at it thinking, well, it's going to miss us, you know. And I made a comment to one of our guys and said, hey, that thing's not moving left and right anymore. Because we were watching it. We know it's a good track, you know, northeast, east for us. And I said, it's not moving anymore. It's just getting bigger. Well, it's because it was coming straight at us. So we were watching it. So anyway, one of the guys kind of made a comment. He said, my vote is we leave. I said, all right, I agree.
Hey, we might want to get them trucks out of the station and head south down Telephone.
I'm pretty sure I'm ready to go.
I would go right. I would entertain a motion to leave right now.
Yeah. It's gonna tear up the station if it keeps coming
Tough. It's tough for any responder, I think, dealing with kids, because like you as adults, you make your own mistakes in your life. You know, you're responsible for your actions. You put yourself in harm's way, you know, through your decisions. Well, a lot of times kids are put in those positions because of us making decisions. The hardest thing for me to deal with in this, because I happen to be the officer in charge of that particular operation, was when to say, okay, the rescue part of this is done. And we're in a recovery phase, and now we're recovering bodies. We're not trying to rescue anyone else because there's no one else to rescue.
Some of the difficulties that you faced?
Probably just seeing people, you know, people's lives destroyed. I mean, just everything they own and gone, and then having to cope with that. And it's also, this is our city. I mean, this is where we work, and
We're every day.
yeah, that's where we come. We view these people as like almost, you know, this is who we protect, and we felt powerless. Yeah, I mean, and you kind of feel powerless because that's what we do, is we help people. And there's just so much destruction, so much going on. You know, we were limited, and we just felt powerless.
One out here in front of Home Depot was full of fire trucks
From other cities.
there was like 70 different departments in the state of Oklahoma in that parking lot with their trucks ready to go do something. There was hot food set up. There's places for people to sleep. There was
Usually I had a good feeling, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
you know, give people the opportunity to rise to the occasion,
And they'll do it.
I drove into the storm, you know, I was right there as it went through, and you have people running into areas that you would think if you saw that you would be running away from that area. You have citizens who don't live in the area rushing in, you know, average citizens, not any kind of first responders or anything, running through, you know, gas lines that are busted and debris, helping neighbors, pulling people out. So that's just something you don't really, it's hard to picture someone doing that, but it was literally hundreds of people pulling neighbors out and things like that, running from, you know, other cities, people coming in who watched it on TV and knew how bad it was.
And all of a sudden, people saw that our doors were open, they started coming in, people were calling in, say, what can we bring in? And she was on the phone. In 24 hours, this place became a major distribution center. So that, you know, we didn't anticipate such a mass donation and pour in and our church being recognized, but that was God's plan, and we were there at the right time, at the right place, and it took off. You know, if you came 3 weeks ago, you couldn't even walk through this building. We had that much supply came in. We had people from Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, and they were bringing truckloads of supply put together. We had a truck came from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, an 8-year-old girl put together supplies, and she wanted to bring in more. So we had the whole semi, and so we had a lot of supply. Then finally we had to tell people, hey, we don't have no space. So, you know, we feel good about doing something for the city, and this is our city, and this is our town. and we want to be part of that healing process. And we have no sponsors, we have nobody giving us money, but we know that this is something need to be done. It is the right thing to do. The Bible says that when you sow something, you will reap something, and so that's what we do.